This is the story of Goggles, the bear who dreamed of flying. Written by Jonathan Gunson and illustrated by Jonathan Gunson and the wonderful Mr. Richard Robinson. There once was a very small bear who dreamed of flying. Everyone told him he was too little to fly, but he always wore flying goggles, just in case they changed their minds, which is why all his family called him Goggles. He dreamed about flying at breakfast. He dreamed about flying when tucked up in bed. He even dreamed about flying in the bath. And he always took a jar of honey with him, because all that flying can make a bear hungry. But even though Goggles was a very small bear, he knew a very big secret. His grandparents, Growlville and Wilma Wright, had built an airplane. They called it the Wright Flyer. They wanted to be the first bears to fly. They couldn't find an airplane fuel that would work. And on the first try, it crunched into a tree. On the second try, it crashed into a haystack, and on the third try, it ran into a pond. Sploosh! If only they could find the right flying fuel. They tried lemonade, but it was too fizzy. They tried custard, but it was too gluggy, and ketchup was too slurpy, and chocolate too gooey. And then one day, Goggles had a great idea for fuel. He whispered it to Grandpa. Can you guess what it was? Honey! At last the plane would fly. The great day arrived for the first flight of the honey-powered Wright Flyer. Take-off was at sunrise, and a big crowd was invited to watch. Goggles wanted to fly too, but everyone said it was too dangerous. So while no one was looking, he sneaked into the back of the airplane. Shh! Grandpa Growlville started the engine. The propeller whizzed and whirred, and the Wright Flyer began to move, faster and faster. And then the plane soared into the bright blue sky. Zoom! Higher and higher it flew, and soon they were sailing around the clouds. It was so beautiful. But then, disaster. The Wright Flyer ran out of honey and began to fall from the sky. If only we had more fuel, cried Grandma Wilma. Suddenly, Goggles popped up from his hiding place. Emergency, honey, he shouted. Grandma had no time to be shocked to see him. She quickly poured the honey into the fuel tank. The engine spluttered, then roared back to life. Vroom! The airplane flew safely back to the bear field and landed in front of the cheering crowd. Grandpa announced that Goggles had saved the day. The crowd cheered even more loudly. But Goggles just smiled and waved. He was happy his grandparents were safe. And what's more, he was one of the right bears, the first bears to fly.